G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Benelli M2 agency. This is an extremely high quality shotgun, standalone, with custom sounds and animations, firing in a semi-automatic fashion, with a really impressive reload system. There's a lot of things that this mod does that I think are really awesome. We'll get to those as we get to those, but this thing is craftable on the chemistry workbench, so if you want to grab one of these as soon as you install the mod, you can, which is great. All it'll cost you is a few materials and some ranks in Gunsmith. Gun nut, that's the one. So yeah, what we'll do is quickly show off what kind of animations this thing has, because you reload exactly how many you need. So right now we've got 6 loaded into this thing, so that's 1 in the chamber, 5 in the tube. So this thing off the bat already is, it's acknowledging that you can hold more in the weapon, exactly +1 in your magazines or anything if you've got 1 already in the chamber, so that's good. And when you fire this thing, there you go, reload it. So 1 was directly into the chamber, the rest are into the tube. And if I fire 1 and then go for a reload, chucks it straight in the chamber, fire 3, 1 in the chamber, and the rest in the tube. So no matter how much you fire, the shotgun will reload exactly how many shots you need to reload, which is more than Bethesda did, because they had the lever action rifle from the Far Harbor DLC, which would play the whole reload animation. Maybe they were going to sort that out, but due to time constraints, they didn't. Fortunately, they did fix that in Fallout 76, but that's neither here or there or right now. We're playing Fallout 4, damn it, let's increase this thing's damage. So this thing has basically what you'd expect out of your vanilla shotguns. Advanced receiver will give you the best damage, although calibrated powerful, I think, might be interesting here if you want to use this thing exclusively in VATS. Get yourself a massive crit damage boost with that. It also increases your accuracy, which will make it slightly more consistent in VATS. You'll notice how the accuracy at the moment is 28, which is pretty appalling for something like this, so we have to be pretty much point-blank range to get that much use out of this thing in VATS, but we can fix that a little bit later on. Got a legendary effect if you want it. Obviously, explosive on this would be incredibly powerful. We'll leave that for now, but for the stocks, we've got just a standard stock, which kind of looks like a Remington 870 sort of standard shotgun stock. Then you've got the pistol grip one, which looks like something of an M1014, so that's kind of cool. You also got the version folded. You've also got this one, the Macaco mod, which if you use this, you sort of hold it to the side. And what I'll do is I'll just quickly show this off because I think it's really awesome. What we'll need to chuck on is a something on the rail called just an angle grip. And if we come off the workbench once more, you'll note that we hold this thing like this. I don't know why people would do this in real life, or if they do it in real life, but I think that's cool as shit. There's just a separate little animation thing, completely hidden, but it's there if you want it, so that's kind of cool. We'll leave that for one of the shotguns that we make, but I think, looks-wise, I like this one, the extended pistol grip and stock onto it. That's very nice. You can chuck something on the muzzle, so you can have a choke cylinder, which widens the spread, so not the best idea for a shotgun. Generally, they're terrible at range anyway, so you want to kind of find ways to increase the range of them a little bit. You can chuck a full choke on, which will increase the accuracy dramatically. Also, it requires gun nut rank 3, so you know this one is going to be one of those ones that is a higher level. And one of the things this thing does, and this is the second cool thing about this, among other things, it actually takes into account how much force is behind a 12 gauge shotgun. Hello, meet the real me. And she goes down. When we aim down sights, that's a knockdown. Kylie gets knocked down. Ayla gets knocked down. When we hip fire this thing, it looks like it doesn't work out. So maybe there's a little bit of a sniper going on here. Sorry, I just one-shotted myself there. That was a surreal out-of-body experience. But yeah, using our followers as target dummies, that's okay, we can't hurt them anyway. We can demonstrate there's a bit of a knockdown with this. You can have a choke modified if you feel like the spread is too tight, but generally I would recommend just the tightest spread you can. You can also put a muzzle brake on it if you want to control the recoil a little bit more. Not really that much of a problem because you can pull down on your mouse and just fire it slow if the recoil is too much. Also use VATS to get firing a little bit faster. And we've got a suppressor as well, which I want to use for one specific ammo type so we can snipe stuff with it, but that's an option. We'll leave the full choke on for now. And you can attach laser sights and flashlights on the side of this thing if you want. We'll go with a flashlight. Shotguns with flashlights are fun. And we can chuck a laser sight on the other side if we want. It does improve your hipfire spread, which is kind of strange because you'd think it wouldn't affect the randomness of the buckshot coming out of the thing, but yeah, why not, eh? We'll chuck it on. See no reason not to. Also, you can have it on or off, or have a beam or just a dot, which is kind of neat. I guess if you want to be super stealthy, you can just have it without the beam, but I think the beam is cooler, so we'll just have the laser beam on. Next up, we have the lower rail, which I've already sort of shown off. Just a bunch of different grips on this, either angled or vertical. All of them provide a little bonus to accuracy. I wouldn't be surprised if they're all functionally identical. Obviously, they're going to change your animations depending on which grip you use, which is just some attention to detail. So third cool thing about it. And you can chuck some of these reflex sights on. It'll just sort of spawn a tactical rail up the top there. Little Picatinny rail for you to chuck stuff on. And we'll go with a EOTech on this one. And maybe we'll grab a basket for another one. But yep, that's cool. You can exchange the magazine from short to long to give you 7+1 rounds. So again, we're acknowledging the weapon holding the thing in the chamber, which is very good attention to detail. And you can change some of the trim to gold. It'll change the little bits on the grip here. And if you swivel the gun around, you'll see that the charging handle, whatever the hell you'd call that, is that's gold. Also, the thing you shove the shotgun rounds into, the tube feeder. I don't know the terminology there, but that turns gold, which is kind of cool. But I think gold just looks better. I mean, black looks better because it reminds me of my car, black wagon. Anyways, so we've got buckshot here. We've got dragon's breath, which will increase our damage to a thing that's not actually resisted by the game. That's just a little bit of Skyrim flame damage, which normally enemies aren't actually able to resist that. So that's a free 74 damage or less, depending on what your difficulty is. You can put the flechettes in it. That'll increase your pellet count, which will have the damage has been improved to sort of compensate for that. Generally, when you're using multiple projectile weapons, the more projectiles, the worse it is, especially on high difficulties, because all of those projectiles are splitting up that damage, and that causes the enemy armor just to soak it up a little bit easier. But this provides a little bit of armor piercing, so that's okay. You've also got the slugs, a big-ass projectile. I wonder if this thing is hit scan. If it is hit scan, then we're going to be laughing when we're sniping this. Generally, they don't seem to be, but it looks like these are indeed hit scan, which is good stuff, because I'm going to be sniping a little bit later on. But like I said, I'm going to chuck on the flechettes here, and then we'll go and shoot stuff. Interestingly, that reduces range. Oh, wait, no, we were using slugs before. Never mind. All right. So here's one. We'll make a couple more, and then we'll get started. So to craft this thing on a workbench, just find weapons, Benelli, and then Crafty Heart's Content will require gun nut rank 2, adhesive aluminium screws, aluminum screws, springs, and steel. Not that much, actually. That's a fairly easy thing to get, and you craft it instantly. Even better, right? Okay, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza. Going to try to keep things in a close quarters environment. So this is our one that you saw me making before. We've got one with a calibrated, powerful receiver with the sideways. I don't want to call it gangster because it looks like something the SWAT dudes would do if they were clearing rooms out. They got to hold it like that in front of them at all times, and I think the reflex sight lends well to that. I mean, the laser sight lends well to that because that's pretty much going at the center of the screen. It's also got dragon's breath rounds, which is awesome, and I've got an aim point reflex on this one with a dot laser sight on that, so it's for super stealthiness. The suppressor on that, and I've also got me sniper one. It's got slugs in it and a big ACOG scope, so I can snipe with this blade turret over here. There we go. And yeah, even at this range, hitting it instantly, so fairly confident to say that it's hit scan. So we'll go ahead and start shooting at these gunners. Maybe we could aim a little bit higher. Bit dusty in here, actually. I feel like there's a little bit of spread on this, which I think is fair enough for a shotgun. If you looked down the barrel when you were making the thing, it's smooth bore, so unless those slugs are fin stabilized, they ain't gonna stay straight all the time, so that's nice. I think the person who made this knows a great deal about guns, and it shows in what they make, so very, very pleased with this. First impressions, always a good one here. So we'll reload that one. We'll come back to this one later, but for now, let's use loud and proud flechettes. something like that. And we should have a good time here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love the spread, and I think VATS is overemphasizing it a little bit here. I mean, not VATS, the little reticle in the middle of the screen. I don't think it is that good, but it does give us a good frame of reference of where to aim. Good old numbers spraying out from everywhere, and that was a fairly long-range kill there in as far as shotguns go, but, you know, that's kind of cool. Try to get some knockdowns here, maybe. That didn't work out. We're just killing him too fast, I suppose. Let's make this a little bit more quiet as we go forward. We'll get some sneak crits. So this has just got standard 12 gauge buckshot, and I saw all of those pellets hitting for 110. That's a lot of damage right there, and we can sort of get him from all the way over here. We'll pop a reload. I think the biggest performance issue with this weapon is that you get through your rounds really quickly, and it takes comparatively a very long time to reload, so it feels like you'll have to be sort of retreating and covering a tactical reload like so. But what you could do instead is just use VATS and just use the quick hands perk to get something done here. Now, I did chuck the calibrated, not capacitor, sorry, I'm thinking of energy weapons, calibrated receiver on this, so we should go on a rampage with Gun Fury. It's gonna be good. So we'll just let it go. We should be right to basically get everything. Fourth shot gets me a crit. I think that gunner moved behind something there. There we go. Not too bad. I think we're a little bit further away than we want to be, and that was disappointing. Although that was out of order. That probably was the third shot. Yeah, when we activate the crits when we're standing a little bit closer and it's not gunfill activated. Almost one-shotted. Mysterious Stranger comes in. Is he going to do anything? Useless. Hey, that's an MG! It's worth mentioning you can interrupt the reload, though, which is a nice way to compensate for the long-ass reload times, which I think is a nice thing. I think I sense another gunfill opportunity here. One for you, one for you. You can get one, and that punk hiding behind that bench is going to pay for it. We actually got some cheeky knockdowns there on that fella, on that lass, because she was near the exploding turret. So that's good. Let's move on over to buckshot, and some gunner says kill them all. I can't reload this thing. I'm gonna fire the round so it forces a reload. There we go. I think we've encountered a bug here. We've broken the reload system. I am going to unequip and re-equip it. Nope, that's not happening. No shotguns for you, mate. Alright, so, this is odd. Maybe it's because I'm just got so many in my inventory, it seems to break it, which I know how much of a pain in the ass it is to get the whole reload system working, but hopefully it might be working after this. I'm gonna quickly drop all of these that I am not using at the moment, and then re-equip this. Actually, I dropped it. Maybe if I drop it, re-equip it, I've got a full magazine now, full tube. And why don't you get knocked down? The gunners, they got some good body armor on them, so maybe that's why they're surviving. Now, how far can I crit this dude out from? Ages away. Sniped him from back here. Very nice. Okay, so I don't know what was going on with this shotgun, but it seemed to be fixed now, so all it took was dropping it and grabbing it back. Unfortunately, we can easily find the rest of them because they got laser sights. Anyways, we'll move on to something more scary, I suppose. Okay, so I did notice the lack of knockdown, despite me saying that that was a thing. So I've removed the sights on this one. So this is just standard buckshot with a suppressor. And I'm thinking that this is like regarded as a scope. So maybe it's not the intention of the mod developer here to actually make it able to be like a knockdown thing. Maybe that's just a bug. But even so, it's like N Stayback from New Vegas, right? Completely overpowered and broken, and I have to say that I love it. We'll get a nice little VAT streak going on here. Haven't shown off the animations for reloading in third person yet. Thank you. And then I just got some butter menthols. So yeah, I'll try to get that shirt off soon. Ruin my train of thought there. We'll go for a crit here. There we go. He's knocked down again. We may as well use this time to get big slugs into him. There we go. Nice big sneak crits for 1,000 damage. Time to reload. You know it. Here it is. So you even reload the first one into the chamber in third person too. I just love that attention to detail. I think a lot of love and hard work went into this mod, and it shows. Also, it's an apparel item if you use classic holstered weapons. Great mod that is. It works for basically all of the things because keywords and stuff. Okay, so was stepped back into light because, you know, most of this video has been recorded during the nighttime, and I want people to actually see the weapons. So we're during the day. And we're going to start sniping at these gunners a little bit. Now, this is technically a see-through scope, so therefore, if you don't want to use the full zoom in, you can just sort of use it in third-person aim down sights. And there's Big Gerald over there. We'll give this one a rest today, and we'll target that guy for the big super mutant kill. So, kind of sniping, not doing that much without the use of sneak attack criticals. And the range on this thing gave me a huge penalty, and there's like a settler over there, so we should probably help him out. And I installed a mod the other day. It's got like the Fallout 3 Raider armors and stuff in it, and some of these blokes might be wearing it. Alright, so it looks like 12 gauge slugs. Well, ooh, slammed them right into the highway. Yeah, they're not gonna like that. And you're missing some of your legs there, but yeah, that looks like the Blastmaster armor back in Fallout 3, and the Fiends in New Vegas had it too. Does it work out? I don't really know. Also, the bashing animation is like a tactical knife stab. It's like, this thing's basically brought out of Call of Duty. I think that's your general knife attack. Maybe Battlefield. I want to play Battlefield. I've been thinking about it more because I've just been turning Fallout 4 into a more tactical shooter experience. And where's the bears? There you are, mate. I'll get ya. He thinks there's honey in the car, stupid bear. I'll teach him a lesson. Alright, let's make this a little bit more personal, eh? Good old earthquakes when bears get staggered. And yeah, this thing, there's a noticeable power difference between this and what I got out of the slugs versus the bear. And unlike sort of backing around in, we're going straight into these super mutants because I want to mag dump them in the face just to see how well we do. See, we're using quick hands perk, and we've reloaded in a fraction of a second. And don't worry about that super mutant, he didn't do that much damage. Also, if we end up being shot and surrounded by a bunch of bad guys, I got mad shit super mutant. I've got sentinel armor, so in fact they'll be hitting like rad roaches. Not that they do much anyway, but as soon as I stand still, damage reduction kicks in, and it's magical. It's wonderful damage. And stop with the beauty close-ups, please. So we're just calmly reloading our shotgun here, and right as he's about to connect with the the sledgehammer there, bang goes a shotgun. Not a fan, I don't think. And what I could do here is, oh, hang on. We'll target him second, is we'll manipulate gunful a bit. We'll have one shot against this fella, he'll die. One shot against this fella, he'll die. And then we'll carry a little bit of bonus damage for this super mutant, which will stack with a critical. Yes. Not a bad shot there. Don't stop there, though. There we go. Finish him for good. Yeah, not coming back after that. Was that? I don't think that was Ricochet. It was Ricochet. There it is. If you're familiar with Ricochet from Fallout 76, it's so much better in 4. And I'll tell you why. It kills them instantly. It's like damage caps. I've seen it do like 1.3 million damage before. It's good stuff. Nothing survives that. Frank Horrigan would die like 30 times over to that. Okay, maybe a little bit more, but... Alright, we're in the Hound pen here. They haven't figured out how to open doors yet. They knew that 25 years after the war. They forgot it after a little moment. And, whoops, they're taking a bunch of shots into the arm there. Don't even need to. The 2 in the head were just quite enough. And we could knock these guys down. I think I might do that just to amuse myself. I'm a little bit more hesitant to use that sort of thing because I feel like that it's not intended. Although, maybe it is, because you don't get all of the goodness out of reflex sights or something. I don't know. And we might be able to knock him right off the edge here. There we go. Not only off the edge, but also in giblets. That'll do. And he goes down. He gets ragdolled, tossed across the room. We're going to just exit that and let the mysterious stranger finish him off, because no way we were going to finish him with our remaining shots. Very nice. If Gerald happens to be a problem, we'll bring this out against him, but otherwise, I think I'll just leave it. We'll bring out the Dragon's Breath one for him, I reckon. We'll get a couple of bat shots going. The Sentinel's effect mixed with Vat's defense should pretty much mean I'm invulnerable to his attacks, which is funny. Although, before we get started, I have noticed we're back into caution again. So, if we can sneak a couple of extra 1,000 damage on him. It is kind of unfortunate that you don't get the knockdown with slugs, even though you'd feel like you would. And, whoops, let's not move. Actually, no, he still does a ton of damage. Good on him. It must be like flat damage? That didn't go well. Okay, don't worry, we didn't die. We're still here, see? We were just playing dead, so he'd bugger off and go do something else. Anyway, there he is. He's down there, and we've given ourselves a couple of legendary effects, because the thing about shotguns, they're not that good against really tanky enemies, and the ghoul's a bit different. He's a bit squishier, and we're using sneak criticals. But this fella is a little bit more of a dangerous target. So this one is instigating. We end up getting 1,400 damage, which is not super bad. 1642 on the next shot. Can't complain. And we'll have a couple more shots at him. Not a bad start right there. But if we want to knock him down, we'll just switch over to this one and hit him like that. This is still using the suppressor here, so that'll keep us nice and hidden for as long as we want. But, you know, we've already used that tactic, so let's get a little bit more spicy in here. Explosive legendary effect, baby. And you can feel the damage of that right away. And the good thing about that is, although we're getting basically no damage from the buckshot shots in and of themselves there, all of that lovely explosive damage is stacking really nicely. And since we're using the flechette rounds, there's so many projectiles, which means the stacks of damage are going to be higher because it's plus 15 every explosion, which is why the advanced receiver for the combat shotgun is so powerful. So what we'll do is we'll finish him off using the Dragon's Breath variant, because I got the wounding legendary effect on this, so we're going to let him bleed to death. As you can tell, the damage per shot isn't as great, but if you look very closely on the health bar there, he'll start draining out. And the reason that it's having such little effect compared to standard enemies is because he's got a lot of health there. And you're only stacking 25 per shot there. So you need to get a lot of damage done to actually see that go, but once you get the stacks going, there's no stopping it. Especially if you use the flechette rounds, the flechette. But, Dragon's Breath. Death by 1,000 cuts, and also the flames inside the cuts, cauterizing the wounds, keeping you alive for that just a little bit longer. Will make you rue the day you hit me with your big hydrant stick. Also, his pathing is really messed up here. He's not sure what to do. And he falls down on the house. On the house with no cappings at all. Just a simple gable-to-gable roof, is it? Let's have a look. It's all in bloody roof shingles, and then you've got the little roof out here, which is nowhere near on this. Jeez, who built this place? So one of the whole world fell apart. Oh look, there's not even any valleys here. Just stuck onto the side. Yeah, that's immersive. Thanks, Todd Howard. Your world building sucks. Anyways, that was the gun, and you know, there's a little bit more to this weapon mod as well. Did you know that there's actually poses to go with it? Now, not a lot of these poses are actually all that great. I mean, they're good poses, don't get me wrong, but the number of poses that you get is just deceptively low, because what the mod does is that it recognizes that there's multiple configurations, and options for this thing. So it copies and pastes a couple of poses to be the same, but working for different variants. So if you've got one with a foregrip like this, it'll have animations to suit. If you've got one with an angle grip like that, it'll have animations to suit. And with no grip at all, something like that as well. So that's kind of cool. I'll quickly show those off and then we'll close off the video. Okay, so to activate these poses, we'll just be utilizing console commands. I'll leave what to type on screen now. So if you enter that and you've got the mod, you can have a look at what the shotgun looks like. There we go. Looks like the shotgun we're using. It's got that EOTech, the laser sight, and the extended barrel there. Looks like we're loading in a shell. Very nice. The second variant of that moves the shotgun over a little bit. The third variant of that moves your hand up the grip there. Number 4 looks a little bit like that. Just tilts the shotgun up slightly there. Looks like a different reload pose there. Next one is holding the shotgun like that. All heroic like. Very nice. Quite like that pose. That's really cool. I like that. Next up is number 6, which holds it like that. Almost tactical looking. Looks like it suited an angled grip the best, so that's pretty helpful. The grips don't really line up there, so perhaps that's for the rifle or just the standard shotgun grip. And there's one for use of the vertical foregrips there. You can pretend that there's a vertical foregrip there because the gloves are thick enough to obscure what it looks like underneath. There we go. There's an angled grip variant for you. And then there's that one again. Just went back to that. This is number 9. There we go. That's a proper pistol grip pose there. So as you can tell, there's different variants for different versions of the weapon, which is nice attention to detail. And there we go. So that's the first version there. So we'll go back and put DP instead of sub, and then activate that one. And you're holding that sort of upside down, and oh wait, you just put it over your shoulder like you're posing with it. That's kind of cool. And then there's this one, which is slightly off kilter, and this one is you're just holding it like a bat. That's very amusing. I guess that's for when you run out of ammo, which I guess if they're made strong, then go right ahead, you do that. Break the stock doing that, but you could always get another one, make another one. That's a nice pose. I quite like that one. And last but not least, we've got this one. Sort of holding it sideways. Oh, just loading the shotgun and just pushing the shell in with your thumb there. That's kind of cool. Very nice poses. Not a lot of weapon mods do this, but it's a nice surprise to see that it actually happens, that it uses the gun directly, the one that you're using, because as you can tell, it's not on Tammy's back anymore, so that's very nice. So there you have it, the Benelli M2 shotgun. A pretty interesting weapon mod, a lot of cool concepts all wrapped into a weapon, which feels like it's actually alright. Quite like it, in fact. If you'd like to see this in your game, link in the description for downloading. I do highly recommend you pick up this mod because of the quality and all of its awesome stuff in it. Thank you very much for watching, guys.